I hope you have enjoyed this last episode of mine, and today I'm gonna dive into the psychology of the color. But before we start have a look on my lovely collections of the colors, which are all the time in my vision when I am start working, because they are my energy, they are my inspirations whenever time I start doing a project. Did you ever question why taxi cars are either yellow, orange, red, fluorescent, that colors? Do you know why? I'm gonna share with you today an information about the psychology of the colors and how we actually proceed to the colors. But before we go the deep diver in that, I'm gonna share with you why is my brand called Sound of Colors. In 2020, when I discovered the name Sound of Color, for the first moment I really get a goosebumps, and I felt this is exactly who I am and what I want to present. You will be wondering and saying the colors doesn't have a sound, so why I choose the word sound? And that because every colors actually it does has certain feeling and certain energy we proceed from that colors. And I tried to capture a moment and find out that particular subject matter which is related to the human value, which is can be in the work or in sport or in the music especially, which I am more enjoying doing that because I love the impressions and I love the moment when the musicians they have that kind of cut off moment when they are playing the instruments. However, yes, every human has other values where they are enjoying and they expressing themselves and they getting that kind of sound. So let's put an example. Farmer, when they are in the farm and they're listening to the birds and the trees and they're feeling the wind or the water pumps and all these things. These all sort of sounds. So for me is like I'm choosing a subject of expressing the farmer and taking his that the moment when he is there in the farm and I put it in my art. It's very important for me to choose the colors where they will be reflecting that feeling or reflecting that kind of moment. And that work with any other topic and subject I work in the music subjects that where you can see that particular musicians or the artist is really cut off from his moment, and you get this energy, whether it can be blues or it can be just balance or it can be just heated and energy. So this is where the colors become very important when I apply it in my work, because this is where the moment you will be getting that kind of cut off from wherever you are and you say, I can hear the music, I can feel the life of that particular farmer or the fisherman or the diver, or it get you back to that kind of feeling of memory. So that all I really take me deep diver within myself, and I went researching more about the colors and how actually they are reflecting that kind of feeling to our body. But before I go dive deeper to talk about the colors and what exactly they bring that sort of feeling, let me explain to you how we see colors first. So how we actually see colors. I'm not gonna go deep dive into the science. I'm gonna explain it very simply. All what we see around us are actually black and white, but every object it has its own pigments, and because of the sunlight it has all the colors. When they reflect an object, they actually absorb all other colors and they reflect the pigments. Let's take an example, this ultramarine colors which is I have here. If there is a light, then I'm gonna see ultramarine. But if the light is not exist, this will be turned to become very dark color, which is most probably it's gonna be black. So how we actually see that? So as I said, is when the light come in and then reflect onto the object, and this object can observe all the other colors and reflect only the color itself. That means I'm receiving the wavelength of that particular pigment, and it come to my eyes. And there's two parts of my eyes are called rod and cones. The rods are responsible of black and white, and the cones are responsible to calculate, I would say, or proceed all the pigments and sending the signal to the mind, and the mind said, oh, this is ultramarine. So as I said, I didn't want to go deep in the science, but if you're interested in to know more about it, of course I'm gonna send you the link, and probably in the future I might do a special episode of that. So at the moment, what I want to really focus in is that if every color it has its own wavelength, so which means we are proceeding every color in different energy. And this is exactly where every color it has its own feeling and reflection to our body, where I will be sharing to you very shortly. Let's choose these beautiful colors: red, yellow, blue, and green. Red color is responsible for our physical response. It actually attracts our focus and active our fight and flight system. It's a color, if even though it is far away, it will feel near. So it makes it ideal to use it as a traffic light and stop signs. In red color, you might feel warm, energy, and increase your heartbeat. However, surrounding yourself with too much red or the wrong tone of red, you might feel angry and annoying, or you might start heat up an argument. Yellow is responsible for our emotion response. It's the color of sunshine. It's the time when you open the curtain and you see the sun, you feel happy. Spirit uplifting, you feel confident and positive. For that, so many companies have used the color yellow and blended with the color red, such of like McDonald's, DHL, and I have used it as well in my brand. However, surrounding yourself with too much yellow or the wrong tone of yellow, you might feel anxiety, irritated, nervous, and depression. Blue is responsible for our intellect, affect us mentally. Some of the positive mental traits are logic and clarity of thoughts. However, surrounding yourself with the wrong tone of blue make you feel aloof, cold, or uncaring. Blue color has been used as a branding in financial and banking industry to give the feeling of integrity and honesty. As well, we see it as a branding for social media companies such as Facebook, previously Twitter, and LinkedIn. Green is a color of balance, which include all above what we have mentioned. With the green, you find life. And when you find life, you find food and water. It's a color of harmony and color of balance. The green color is a sign of environment, and so many industries, they use it to create that calmness and easiness. Such of nowadays, a lot of coffee shops start adding the color green element, keep you that kind of feeling of balance and calm. We find it as well in real estate and farming. However, surrounding yourself with so much green, you might feel boredom and stagnated. So now I have shared with you the information about how actually we see colors. And as I said, all the colors come from the sunlight, and the sunlight is energy, which means every colors are going to give us a different feeling and going to affect us different physically and psychologically.